What's going on, folks? It's Edge 4006, do another review. This is a gun that I've owned for a long time, that I bought at a gun show. And as you can see, it's a Ordnance P13 45. They started making this gun, but they called something else now. Originally, this gun was originally made in Canada by Ordnance. All their guns originally were made in Canada, and I think they were imported to Florida for resale here. They originally started selling kits for receivers. You know, you could have your basic, or receiver kits actually. You'd have your typical 1911, and you could buy a bottom receiver for it, so you could sit there and have double capacity, and you have to fit or have it fitted by a gunsmith. That's how they started out. Then eventually, they started making their own pistols altogether, and they were all made in Canada for the longest time until about 2000 something, where they started making them, I believe, in North Carolina now. So where they make their gear now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I looked that up. That's the last time I looked up what I recollect. This gun, when I originally bought it, came with, it was aluminum frame. It was all black. Had aluminum frame. Very light. Something weighed like 20 something ounces. 24, 20 something, I don't remember exactly. But I always had my reservations about that aluminum frame, thinking, you know, I've heard about people saying they've cracked on them and so on. It's, you know, it had a special cut in the receiver for stress, you know. So eventually I did some tinkering on this gun. Like I did some, you know, learning how to do my own smithing and whatnot. And I was there trying to fit a mainspring housing on it once. And sure enough, I wanted to try to put somewhat of a, got a Smith & Alexander off eBay, this mag weld that came, you know, and I filed it down, fitted it, and as I was fitting it, it ended up cracking the slot that holds the leaf spring. Yeah, live and learn, right? So I saw these little metal parts coming out. I was like, what the hey? And then, you know, I took the gun back apart, and I was like, oh God, you know, that's a slot that holds the leaf spring. And you guys know your 1911s, that's a pretty important part of the gun. That leaf spring not being situated the way it needs to be. The gun still functioned, but it was definitely unsafe. So I called Para up, told them what's going on. You know, hey, I need to get this fixed. I had to pay for shipping. Of course, this gun's out of warranty. It's only a warranty to the original owner. It doesn't pass on to other owners, unfortunately. So I sent it in to them. They took a long time. It took almost 3 months to get this gun back, and persistent calling to make sure they were getting on, you know, this gun getting repaired. And so they did. I told them, you know, receiver's bad. I want to go ahead and get a steel frame one. They had one left out of all the old stock, the Canada stock. They only had one left. So it's kind of like it was almost like destined for me to get that one last receiver. They cut me a pretty good deal. It's a couple $100, like $300 for the receiver and night sights. They put Trijicon night sights. My sights were also loose. They put Trijicon night sights on it. And I made it a duotone. Also threw in an extra magazine for my cost and whatnot, and all the time it took to fix it. But all in all, I did a pretty good job. One of the biggest differences in this gun now is though that when you do shoot it, it gets hot. The aluminum dissipated heat pretty quickly. This gun, if you shoot by 2 magazines straight through it, high cap, 13 rounds, you know, in succession, it'll get warm to where you're like, you're okay, I want to put it down for a little bit, and it takes a while for it to cool off. The aluminum one did dissipate the heat a whole lot better, but I feel a lot more comfortable now. You know, it is heavy. It's a heavy gun now. She probably weighs up to 40 ounces, maybe even more. With the I'm sure more with the magazine full with 13 rounds. Well, anyway, that's the history behind this gun. Let me give some details, some close-ups. When I sent it to Para, their tech said that somebody had spray painted the slide, and it was kind of like an odd style. I wouldn't say so much it's parkerization as much as it was like a powder coat they put on there originally. Ordnance did, and I guess he never worked in the Canada factory, so he'd know that that's the way it came originally. And I was like, no, I did not spray paint this. I don't spray paint my guns, my friend. I would have it professionally done. The other thing when I bought this gun is the grip safety did not work. The beaver tail safety did not engage properly. And somebody also disabled the Series 80 safety on as well. I think the guy who had it before me probably tried to set it up to race, and maybe did some home smithing or had some bubble smithing done on it. Nevertheless, you know, I got it all fixed. Everything was fixed by Para. You know, pretty impressed with the quality. It's not perfection, but it's good. It does have a plastic trigger and a plastic mainspring housing. That's what comes with the gun to lighten the weight on the workload of carrying all that kind of ammunition on top of a full-size 1911. 1911s are heavy in general. When you do a high-capacity 1911, well, you know, you're only getting heavier. I'll show you the gun a little bit more. The other side, right here. And there's their logo, Para Ordnance. They pretty much did everything there. They fitted everything. I put my grips back on there. They put hex screws, nice beaver tail safety. They replaced the hammer, pretty much all the parts in the receiver. I did this part right here. I did put myself. I put a new barrel bushing. It's chamfered. Kind of gives a little more look at the end there. I like the way it kind of, you know, finishes the gun off at the end, as well as stainless guide rod plug on there as well for the barrel bushing. It does have an extended magazine release. You put that on there. So let me go ahead and release the magazine here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check this gun real quick. And as you see, gun has a full extended guide rod. It's a 2-piece guide rod. Requires an Allen wrench. It's fun to play with sometimes. I would like it to be 1 piece, but that's the way it comes. And like I said, you know, the gun is safe. Paras do have a feed ramp, which I like. It helps the bullets really slide in there. I'm going to do a polish job on this sucker because it never did. Even when I sent to them, they never decided to polish it, but it wasn't on my list of complaints. I keep it pretty clean. One sec. And then I have pierce grips on this gun. You do have a, you know, there's no mag well cut on there at all. It's just standard. It's deep cavity. The grips do add a little girth to the gun, but the original Para grips are just plastic with some plastic checkering. They don't really do anything for me. So I'm putting these on there. You get some texture, you get some control, you know, especially since the gun is kind of short. So, you know, you get some control. It's a 45 you're shooting. This is about the smallest you want to go, in my opinion, a 45. You do not want to go some of the compacts. Most people buy them and then eventually get rid of them down the road because they never shoot them and they never really carry them because they don't trust them. But this gun's good, man. I like it. It's my first gun I ever bought. You know, I shouldn't have bought a 45 for my first pistol, but I did. And my 45 round is my most comfortable to shoot out of all of them. The 40s are snappy to me. The 45 just seems so, you know, I'm zoned in on that 45. The sights are Trigicon. They're night sights. They're pretty good. The fit and finish is really good on this pistol. I'll show you here. Got a little grease on there. It's coming up, but it's pretty clean. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's locked up pretty tight. I mean, yeah. For a Para Ordnance, you always hear people talking, oh, Para's crap, Para's crap. I've heard that, and I can see how some people have their issues. I've had mine, but the gun is good, and that tightness right there is pretty tight. The lockup on it, I mean, you know, when you pull that slide back, you know, it feels good. Everything feels good about this gun. You know, it's a little heavy. It's the only thing I can complain about, but you know, I bought it. It's my baby. It's my first gun, firstborn, and pretty comfortable with it. The magazines come with it are like so. I got right now, I'm using Ranger T 45 ACP 230 grain, 13 rounds in this magazine. It's a standard Para magazine. You can find these still. CD&N, I believe, sells them for about $21.95 each. Original factory magazines. I went ahead when this whole fiasco started in December. Went ahead and loaded up, bought a couple more mags for this particular pistol. So now I got like a total of 7 magazines for it. You know, their new stuff, I'm kind of weird about buying one. I don't know, because I'm just not impressed with some of the stuff I see. And to venture, I'm kind of like, well, between a Philippine gun and Colts, Colts are good, but then you hear about people saying, I bought a Colt and I expect a little more. I bought a Kimber and a Jams. And it's kind of hard these days to really pick one out without, just rolling the dice to see what you get. That's why I like buying a gun sometimes it has a little wear in it and to know how it's acting. Instead of finding out, you break it in, you find out, 1911, yeah. Well, it's, break it and find, and every time it still has all these other issues. That being said, it has just a single safety, beaver tail, memory bump, extended ejection ejection button, standard lines on there for serrations to cock it. Like I said, guys, I've seen a review a long time ago on this particular model. It's been a while. I haven't seen it in a while, so I decided I was going to go ahead and do one. It pretty much wraps it up. I got another magazine in here. It's a pretty nice pouch, came with it. Both on mag. I bought this on eBay, did not come with the gun, but I like it. As they say. Alright, there's this Hecho in Mexico, made in Mexico. Yeah, it's a pair. But if you're looking for double stack option, there are a couple ones out there. Korea makes one now. Springfield makes one. A couple other manufacturers, STI. As you get up there and your wallet gets a little thicker, you get an STI, Caspian. You want to go homegrown. But those are your options. And again, it's my review. It's Edgeworth 2006, and I'm out. Please post any comments. Thank you much.